Hey guys, today is Friday, June the 2nd of 2023, and I want to go over the dollar, energy, and metals. So without any further delay, let's get into it. You guys know that today's a big day. Non-farm and unemployment data is going to be coming out. I think there's another important one. I forgot what that was, but interesting data sets coming out. So be careful. Watch the dollar. Watch the indices, the equities. So it's going to be a lot of movement. So just be cautious and place your stops. As you can see, we're going into crude. We're still holding this 50%, which is key, 68.50. On the daily, we got a sell signal, and then so far both time frames are in sell signal, but crude oil is holding and finding support, find buyers holding it up. Although both time frames are in a squeeze play, and it looks like the pressure or the explosion is to the downside. An RBOB, same thing, although RBOB on the weekly has a squeeze play to the downside. The daily hasn't indicated that, but it does have PPS sell signals, and it's just chopping around the mobile bands, trying to find some buyers and some life. But so far, as of right now, the path of least resistance is to the downside. Some could say, yeah, it's probably consolidating, which is true, but it's on the weaker side if you ask me. Natural gas, I put a video out and I said be careful because we are very close where we could get even weaker. We already know June and July, the two J's, are very weak on regards to seasonality with natural gas. So I know some of you are holding, boil at 4, 3, 6, who knows. And some of you, dip your toes in here. The only impulse we had was in February. And then in April, we got this nice one. And then in May, and then we're pushing back. So it's like a little correction here. Although we got a squeeze play and looks like the pressure wants to go up, price action is not doing that. It's just more on the weaker side. And on the daily, you see the same thing too. So far, that 213, I said 214. It just went down a little lower. Supposed to hold, but we'll see. I don't see anything positive right now. So that's why it's concerning. Heating oil, same thing. Not too much going on. Just chop fest. The only thing is that on the daily, it looks like it's some weakness and it looks like it wants to probably go lower. But it all depends on what's going on with the dollar and the energy as a whole. So far, they're all trying to bounce. And natural gas is kind of more on the weaker side. Let's go to gold real quick. As you can see, we got a nice little PPS buy signal. Mobile bands are positive. Hikanashi trend color is white, so it's looking good. We got our histogram. So if it's going to continue, target to the upside will be 222, 221 around there. And then the next one will be 2064. We're taking baby steps. At least we closed above 1981 so far. But does it mean that the dollar could get some data that could really give it some, Momo to the upside? But so far, it looks like it wants to retest. Maybe targets would be that 2014, somewhere around there, even 2025. Silver in the same situation, wants to, climb up with the dollar. With the dollar gold, following up. And you see it's a little closer to the mobile bands, but price action on the gold is a little more extended. So we'll see. They're just copying each other. Just got to keep an eye on the dollar. What is this? Copper. Same thing with copper. Looks like the target is going to be that 381. That's where it's heading. And then once it hits there, see what's going to happen. If it's going to penetrate, get back into the chop fest of 407, 408, maybe hit that and then fail, or continue and test, 419 and then finally break out. It's unknown yet. It's just more, chop fest. If it fails here and it takes out 354, wow, watch out. Things are really ugly. But if it holds and then it bounces back up and it takes out 407 and 419, then maybe the rally begins. In regards to, and I got to watch seasonalities and cycles and all that, I'm just kind of giving you, probabilities of what I see in patterns. And palladium, I got that right today, Palladium. PPS sell signal, both on daily and weekly. We're in a squeeze play like nat gas. Looks like it wants to go down to 1333, but it hasn't really kissed that yet. And on the daily, it's getting a little bit of life. You can see right here, but it has a long way to prove that it wants to go long. It needs to close above 1459. Let's look at the dollar real quick. Where are you, dollar? As you can see, I was saying we're gonna stall somewhere around here, and it was kissing it, pushing back, and you see that this little line here is the close. So I always like to look at the close, but the Hikanashi cleans up the chart for me. It tells me what's the trend, and we even penetrated 104, even pushed higher. It was just to trap some bulls, and they got them. And then they just flushed it down, and now we're here, and now we're finding support. So we're back at the 50%. So this is a key level for the dollar. If we break above it, below, if we break below it, you got this angle right here from the Gann fans. Maybe it'll bounce, test it here, and if it really pushes lower, you have this one going down. And if that fails, it's going back to 102. If it continues, then my thesis of 98. It still could be in play. So this would be a wave 4 going down to wave 5. And once we hit that 98, well, maybe lower, you never know. Then you got your wave 5 down there, and then see what happens if it wants to, retest and squeeze everybody out. But I'm probably gonna do a video on the dollar, kind of more like a general video, cycles, seasonalities. Haven't done one in a while, just to kind of see where we're at with the dollar. That way you can kind of get an idea for gold, silver, and maybe all the metals. But that's it for the dollar. Anything else? I don't know what I have here. I got for the dollar, you can see that we hit the yearly midpoint, and we hit it to the T and failed. So you see how all these things are all interconnected? You always have to watch all these levels. Why it kissed there and then fail? Because it's important. It's the midpoint of last year. Although it oscillated here when it came and tested, it failed. Now, if it breaks above there, watch out. We're probably going to go test the 114 high that it did. But so far it failed. As you can see, we're above the midpoint on the monthly, which is 102. But if it's going to push, that'll probably be the target also. And know that we're already at a 50% from, I guess from this swing, these swings right here. The 50s right here, so that's why you're watching it, closely. But there's another one from the monthly. We're kind of below already the weekly, and we're below the daily, which this one fluctuates pretty fast. So that's that. In regards to the square 9, we're 103. We went to 104. It's probably going to go back to 101, which is there's some support. But it's oscillating here. It has, between this and this, 104. The high is 114. So we'll see. And the low is 100. So my target is 98 for wave 5. And if it really wants to flush down, I don't know, 96 all the way to 91. But that's just me right now. And if it wants to explode, we got to take out 105, 106, all the way to 111 target, and eventually maybe test the high. So I think that's it. I don't want to make this video too long. I am going to sign out because I got to head out early to do some errands. Good trading today. Whatever happens, just stay focused, put your stops, and don't get caught, out there like a deer in the headlights. Have a great weekend, and be watching for my feed. I'm going to be covering the dollar because I want to see what's going on with the dollar. Very interesting. 114 high, double fail new low, what I call FNL. Right here, and right here confirmed it. So what is this? Is this a leg higher? Is this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to test that? Or we're going to finish down and then go up. We'll see. I'm going to sign out. Great weekend, and I'll keep you posted on the dollar, the energy, and the metals.